Welcome to another episode of the 5 Minute Money Manager. This podcast is about managing money, so I thought I would start out with this question: what is money? I mean, you're thinking, Dr. Anderson, everybody knows what money is. Well, maybe not. Anyway, a brief history lesson is in order. Let's make a deal. I have baskets, you have clay pots. I'll trade you one basket for one pot. Both of us agree that's a good deal, so we exchange our basket and pot and are on our way. That's what barter was all about: exchanging the actual goods or services with somebody else's actual goods or services. But there was always problems with barter. What if no one wants my baskets? Or what if my goods are worth considerably more than yours? For example, maybe I have sheep and you have knives. One sheep is worth much more than one knife. Maybe a sheep is worth 10 knives, but I only need one knife. Now what? Well, I could take the 10 knives, keep one, and try to barter away the other 9. Or I could not do business with you, but I really need the knife. Or we can find some third item to help, perhaps grain. You and I agree that grain is always valuable to have. We also agree that one sheep is worth 10 bags of grain and one knife is worth 2 bags of grain. You can give me one knife and 8 bags of grain for one of my sheep. Or you can decide that you don't really need any sheep right now and let me give you 2 bags of grain for one of your knives. Wow, by using the value of grain to help our barter transaction, we just invented money. Many items have been used throughout history as money. Some examples are grain, cattle, beads, shells, stones, alcohol, metal, cocoa beans, spices, tobacco, almonds, beaver skins, salt, oil, and even large round stones. But there has always been a problem with some of the early monies. Some of the quality wasn't consistent. Maybe this year the grain crop was good, but next year it wasn't quite so good. Maybe it didn't taste as well. Consistency in weights. Maybe my bags of grain are heavier than your bags of grain, so that would present a problem. I might feel like I'm getting cheated, or you might feel like you're getting cheated. And then there's the issue of portability. It's difficult to have to store and then transport heavy bags of grain or some other items such like large stones or cattle. Every time you wanted a transaction, you'd have to carry these things with you. And then there's the issue of durability. Anything that was alive or that had been grown was subject to maybe cattle died, or my sheep died, or maybe the grain could rot or get eaten by rodents or other animals. So that was always an issue with some of these early kinds of money. One of the solutions was to take gold and silver and copper and make coins out of that. Coins were a lot easier to carry than big bags of grain or cattle. They could be made in relatively the same size and the same amounts, and so there's the issue of, and it lasted a long time. So it solved some of those issues of portability and durability and consistency. Another, even though barter was a highly social activity, it had some great benefits because it helped towns and communities develop. It also helped people become more specialized as they had a tendency to congregate and not move around quite so much. Then people that were good at making baskets could make baskets, and people that were good at making other items or hunting or fishing or whatever could spend their time doing what they were good at and then trade or sell their items. The development of early money led to standardized weights and measures, which helped eliminate some of the issues of quality and consistency. But even coinage had its problems, especially in larger transactions. Imagine trying to carry hundreds or thousands of coins around with you. That might be better than cattle, but it was still a cumbersome thing. Paper money was the solution. That was, especially in large transactions or larger transactions, paper money was preferable over coins in terms of being able to transport. But even paper money for very, very large transactions is problematic. Imagine paying $300,000 for a new home in cash. Checks replaced many cash transactions, and today electronic transactions have replaced many of the currency and check transactions. In fact, I know many people who haven't written a check out in in decades and who rarely carry cash. Today, we generally think of money as paper notes and metal coins or the electronic representation of them in our bank accounts. The reality is that money is anything or any resource that we can use to obtain something else that we want. Managing one's money is really managing one's resources, and it is this broad definition of money that I will use throughout these podcasts. I guess I could have named them 5-minute resources management, but that doesn't sound as good. So I encourage you to take 5 minutes to make a list of your resources. And don't forget those intangible resources such as your knowledge and skills. Thanks for listening and have a great day.